MINDIA, Mind of India.
Forests teem with life and life-giving resources. And perhaps nowhere is it as evident as it is in the state of Karnataka. At its heart is the Western Ghats, one amongst the biodiversity hotspots of the world. Here, natural life in its varied and myriad forms thrive. While some of the more colorful mammals of these forests are oft celebrated, what is little known is about the lives and deaths of our own mammal, the humans who make it their life's work to protect these very forests. This is a story about Karnataka's green soldiers that dedicate their lives to the protection of our most precious, life-giving resource. A story of service to the nation that is unknown to most of us. A tribute to the martyrs of the forest, of all those who have laid down their lives in the line of duty, and a celebration of these true green heroes. Every day, hundreds of officers and thousands of ground staff rise before the sun to set off on their mission to protect our forests and all the flora and fauna it contains. But before we dwell into the challenges they face, it is crucial to understand the importance of protecting our forests. Forests give birth to rivers, which means water for us to drink and to grow our food, and they give us oxygen for us to breathe. Without air and water, we simply wouldn't survive. And perhaps that is reason enough for us to protect our forests with everything we have. While the state of Karnataka hosts different types of forests, the challenges the department and its people face are similar across these varied landscapes. From the dense jungles of the evergreen forests to the open, arid landscapes of thorny forests, the staff battle extreme weather and inhospitable landscapes on a daily basis. But there are three distinct challenges that have proved to be the most dangerous and claimed the lives of many martyrs. The first challenge is that of poaching and smuggling. Forests play home to the most precious of trees and unique, often endangered wildlife, making them a crucial target for poachers and smugglers. Their actions have devastating long-term consequences. But thanks to the vigilance and attention of the entire department, the number of incidents have drastically reduced over time.
We have identified all the areas across the state where there is poaching and smuggling, that is within the forests. In each of these places, we have established anti-poaching camps to keep a check on these activities. all the infrastructure facilities are provided, including ration, transportation, and walkie-talkies. Everything they need to cover these areas. There is one anti-poaching camp every 7 to 8 kilometers in these areas. We officers too cover the different camps and beats, both during the day and night. So we always keep a vigil. So this problem of smuggling is definitely under control now. But there still may be 1 or 2 small incidents here and there. However, we are immediately alerted and appropriate action is taken.
There was a time when poaching and smuggling was rampant in these parts. And what unfolded here in the late 80s and early 90s was perhaps amongst the most dangerous of forest crimes ever perpetrated in the country. It is thanks to the work of brave officers like P. Srinivas that this was eventually quelled and the future of forests protected. He lost his life to the infamous Veerappan, the biggest sandalwood smuggler of all time. Working closely with late officer P. Srinivas were several aides who needed to be just as fearless as their leader in the line of duty. This is the story of what happened, firsthand.
November 9th, 1991, we went to the IB as they said a new officer had come. Veerappan's younger brother, Arjuna, told our guard Malsetti to pass a message to the officer to speak to Veerappan through wireless. He said that Veerappan was willing to surrender, and so we came back from Mahadeshwara Betta to Gopinatham. When we came to the camp, he went to the village, and then along with 4 or 5 villagers, along with Arjuna, the brother saying that Veerappan was ready to surrender, took them and went into the forest. When we woke up that morning, all the people outside were crying. On inquiry, they told us the news that last night, Veerappan had taken the life of our officer. Amidst worry and chaos, we took our other officers and rushed to Srinivas sir's spot. It was a horrifying sight, seeing the decapitated body of our hero. It still haunts us to this day.
The department lost a hero who helped make the forest stand today.
According to me, if there was one person who epitomized the idea of saving the forests, can in turn nurture the land for the people, was our exemplary officer. We had all fled the village because of the trouble, but when this officer came and saw, he decided to do something about it. He, along with others, brought all the villagers back to the village. He took it upon himself to give us back our lives and livelihoods. The temple was then a grass shed. He thought it was important and got the temple built for us. He also built a hospital. This showed us, the people of the village, a way back into normal life that we had so longed for. I don't even like to call him officer. He is like a god for us.
When it comes to bravery and commitment towards protecting the forest and towards service to the nation, Mr. Srinivas's noble deeds and efforts are not in vain. He is a true green hero. The second challenge, that is amongst the most dangerous, and not just in terms of human life, but in terms of the extent of damage caused by it too, is the challenge of forest fires. Increased incidents of forest fire, however, can be linked to external factors such as occasionally drier conditions. And of course, a majority of the forest fires are caused by the callousness of mankind. Even as a simple mistake, the damage that is caused is extensive and often has devastating consequences. It is not always that the source of the fire is identified, but all the hard work and exemplary service rendered over a lifetime was extinguished in a single day when it comes to the tale of Mr. Murugappa, forest guard at Ayamgudi Range, Bandipur. This is Basava, one of the many soldiers who help protect our resources. He recounts the fateful day.
February
18th, 2017, Marugappa Tammangol and other staff came to put out a forest fire. The fire was really huge. We could see it from far, and it was on top of the trees too. He tried running and fell a few times as he couldn't get away. His colleagues managed to carry him up to a certain point. He then said that since he had fallen a few times and was hurt, that he would not be able to escape, and told the other two to leave him and save themselves. They had to leave, and they found Murugappa's body in the same spot. He was completely burned.
When it comes to the challenge of forest fires, it has been a story with ups and downs. The good news is that the Forest Department has perhaps prevented more fire in the recent past thanks to the extreme vigilance, added technology and the vigorous patrolling of the on-ground staff.
In the month of November itself, we get a fire management plan ready. The Adivasi and local population are employed to create what we call fire lines by cutting the dry bush, and we start this work in November. What these lines do is that they prevent a fire from going from one part to another. We also have watchtowers across all the ranges of the forest, which are staffed 24 hours a day. We place our more experienced staff of 20 to 30 years experience in these locations. If they spot a fire, they have the ability to pinpoint the location and pass on the information. Along with this, the fire services too work with us for 3 months in a year. In case of emergencies in this time, we join our hands to put out the fire.
The Forest Department and its personnel gear up every year for dry conditions that are conducive to wild forest fires. The role the department plays in mitigating the extent of the damage is highly commendable, and thousands of acres of pristine forests have been saved. But the job is never done. The Karnataka Forest Department is currently leveraging IT, GIS, and remote sensing technology for conservation and management of forests, wildlife, and natural resources of the state. On the portal, all the data is digitized, from the locations of the fires to the fire lines and the rapid response units. Based on all the information over the last 20 years, relevant information is made available for officers and staff to plan and manage fire protection activities. The portal not only catalogs all the data, but also makes it accessible to help mitigate fires in the most efficient way possible. Given that the forests of Karnataka are amongst some of the most pristine and most biodiverse, it shouldn't be surprising that at least one challenge is related to animal conflicts. The magnificent beasts that call Karnataka home include over 10% of the world's tiger population and almost a quarter of the country's elephants. Every protecting officer, every single guard must brave the elements, with surprises hidden behind every corner. It is a job that requires constant attention. Forest Guard Ashok continues to protect the forest as he recounts the incident which he was witness to.
The day was 24/1/2020. We had to do a combing beat. Chandra, Ashoka, Gururaj sir, the three of them and I set off for the beat. As three of them walked in a single file, the jungle was thick and was hiding the elephant up ahead. We were startled. The ones in front ducked and managed to get in front. Gururaj sir went to one side and I climbed a tree on the other. In that time, he was attacked. He lost his life.
In another incident, Mr. Manikandan, conservator of forests and director of Nagarholi Tiger Reserve, and an officer who was highly admired by colleagues and citizens, he was credited with reducing the incidence of fire under his aegis and in the reduction of man-animal conflicts. Another inspirational officer laid down his life in the service of the nation. As irony would have it, he would engage with two of these challenges to meet his demise on World Wildlife Day. It is no doubt a hard job, a dedicated and Herculean task to be in the forest service, and it certainly demands the respect of every citizen for the sheer effort it takes to protect our life-giving forests. This is a story in honor of all the forest martyrs from the Karnataka Forest Departments who have made the ultimate sacrifice to protect our most essential resources, to protect our right to live. This film is in honor of all those who don the colors of the forest, to protect each and every one of us.